Hello, Serendipitous here. I know this is a little bit of a different video. I'm recording from my phone on a game table. This is kind of going to be part of a little series. I like something in which I focus on other fighting board games. In light of the announcement of the Brawlhalla card game, I wanted to kind of go over some other card and board games that I'm aware of, and also some that I own that also tackle the challenge of basically being a fighting board game. So this is definitely one of my absolute favorites. It's called Unmatched here. Basically in these videos, I'm going to show you how the games work and why I like them, and the basically different board game designers and different board game companies are going to approach fighting games in different ways. Some of them, like Unmatched, aren't even trying to emulate a particular fighting video game necessarily, but definitely making some kind of like fun, like fast-paced dueling game of some kind, right? So Unmatched, this is just one of the many boxes that they've made. They tend to focus on public domain literature and historical characters. Although there are some boxes that have like Marvel. They've made some characters in Marvel, The Witcher. They're doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a little bit. They've done Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Jurassic Park, and so forth. Personally, I was only interested in the public domain characters, and I have packaged them in a different way so that I would basically have a choose your character kind of a character selection screen here. And I'm a little bit crazy because this is not all of them. I have condensed all of the characters I have into these two boxes. Well, I do have a third box that has like two other characters. But when I talk about fighting board games, I'm talking about games that have like a character selection screen like this that you can have and that you duel with essentially. That's pretty much what I'm going for. So I've packaged all of them. They don't come like this. I've just packaged all of each of the characters in these little deck boxes that I got. So how does this work? Let's see. I'll bring up Sherlock and Watson here. Like I said, we got. Well, you probably can't see, so I'll just kind of briefly go over each of the characters here. You can see what kinds of things we've got. We've got Sherlock and Watson, the Invisible Man, Jekyll and Hyde, Dracula, Alice in Wonderland, Beowulf, Hamlet, the Wayward Sisters, Double Toil and Trouble, sisters from Shakespeare, Titania from Midsummer Night's Dream, Shakespeare himself, Dr. Jill Trent, an old comic book character, Golden Bat, one of the very first comic book heroes ever, King Arthur, Blackbeard, Tomoe Gozen, and Oda Nobunaga, a couple of Japanese warriors from Japanese history. We got Loki here. Actually, I'll bring up Loki because we got a Brawlhalla audience here. Loki, Pandora, Medusa, Little Red Riding Hood, the Genie, Sun Wukong, Bigfoot, Bloody Mary, Chupacabra, Annie Christmas, Nikola Tesla, Houdini, Robin Hood, Yanenga, I think that's an Indian archer legend, Sinbad, and Achilles. Then I have two other characters, the Martian Invader, like standard, like, space alien type thing, and Mothman. So, how does this work? Well, basically, a character will have, each individual character will have a deck of cards and a miniature. So I kind of have the Loki miniature saved in this little thing right here, and generally a health dial, and maybe some other components. I'll show another character to show other. Some of these characters have sidekicks as well. Let's see. What's another character I can bring up for? I think I'll bring up Sun Wukong as well. So this is once again, Sun Wukong has a deck of cards. We got his miniature in here. If I can grab it, there we go. And Sun Wukong doesn't fight alone like Loki does. He fights with his own clones. So we got tokens to represent those clones. All right. So everybody, everybody kind of like, fights on they fight on a map. So I have a different box here that has all of the different maps that you play on. So this is mostly a card game, but you do play on a board. I can grab one of these here. Here we go. So a board that looks like this. Some might be a bit smaller than this, but this is a Venice is one of the battlefields, and this one is Santa's Workshop. So essentially, what you've got going on is you and your opponent. You can have 2 or 3 or 4 players. You're going around and you're moving on this battlefield along these lines. The colors indicate zones, so melee characters can only hit someone adjacent to them, whereas range characters can hit someone within their colored zone, right? Each of these cards, most of these cards represent various attacks, defense, and schemes that they have, and you win when you reduce your opponent's hit points to 0. Right? That's what this is. This is a health dial that you can move down to 0. Each character will have a card that looks like this, that has their basic stats, their hit points, how many spaces they can move when they do a move action, and their ability, essentially. So here's Sun Wukong's here. Some will have sidekicks, right? So the clones, how many there are, usually with 1 hit point each. And yeah, that's basically it. On the back of this card shows you, this is pretty much all of the basic rules of the game. On your turn, you have to take 2 actions. You can choose different ones or the same one. These are your 3 options. You can maneuver, which means you have to draw a card, and you can optionally move your fighters. If you have sidekicks, you can move all of them. You can play a scheme card, which is one of these yellow cards with a yellow lightning bolt. Gosh. Probably saw, a scheme card. You can play one of these as your actions, the yellow lightning bolt there, or you can attack with either a red attack card or a purple versatile card. And when you attack, you place your card down, and your opponent looks for a defense, a blue defense, or a purple versatile card. Versatile card that can be used for attack or defense, and then you flip them over, and you flip them over at the same time, and you resolve immediately effects, during combat, after combat effects, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I have not played with all of the characters, but I have played this game a lot. My wife Cobweb and I have played this quite a bit. I like it a lot. This is definitely one of my absolute favorite board games that I have, especially with the range of historical, literary, public domain characters that I have here. I kind of went a little bit overboard with everything, but I have no regrets whatsoever. I also have like a lot of like battlefields that have like different configurations of spaces and like different effects, different sort of like effects and things like that. And every single fighter feels very different, and that's pretty much how Unmatched works. So and I continue to kind of like keep tabs on what any new characters that the game developers, Restoration Games, creates. They're going to make a Stars and Stripes. They're releasing a Bruce Lee and Muhammad Ali box. Some boxes have 2 fighters, some have 4, some have 3. And then also sometime next year they're going to release one that's called Stars and Stripes, which has a bunch of like American legends in them, like John Henry, Rosie the Riveter, Wyatt Earp, and George Washington. So, that's basically how Unmatched works. I love how this is definitely like a shorter game. Usually games feel pretty close as well. If you're curious, this is what the Loki miniature looks like here, right? I guess I'll also show you some of the art on the cards as well, because that's another thing I love. This is Sun Wukong. That's the back here. There he is. The miniatures are fantastic. The art on the cards and on the boxes is absolutely second to none. I mean, look at this for Loki. This is the card back for Loki's cards. And then you see all these, The art is slightly different depending on the character, but it is always, in my opinion, just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, you can see the cards, Ragnarok, um, other references to classic Norse mythology and everything, right? And then for Sun Wukong, here's the back of those cards, and all of these different forms and everything that Sun Wukong can take. His various abilities, probably some references to Journey to the West in there. Infinite strikes, transformations, taunting laughter, and everything. Just the game is wonderful to look at, honestly. Even if it might not be the way I have this, it might not be too impressive in all these deck boxes. The game itself looks fantastic, in my opinion. So, yeah. I know that this is not really, again, not the kind of content I usually make on this channel, because I try to focus mostly on Brawlhalla lore and announcements and trailers and other information based on that. But I wanted to show these. I wanted to kind of show this and make a couple other videos for a couple other fighting board games, because I love board games. This is another one of my hobbies, and this is kind of related now because as a community, we Brawlhalla fans are going to be getting a card game that is trying to simulate a fighting game. And I just so happen to own and am aware of several, I think, really good fighting board games. So there's that for you. And that's all I got for you for now. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will make a couple other videos about some other fighting board games pretty soon. So until next time, all the best.